Hello, everybody, and of course, welcome back to another episode of X Talking Ish with your boy X.
And Ish.
You already know what to do. If you are on Facebook, please make sure you like and share this broadcast. If you are on Facebook page, please make sure you go ahead and like our Facebook page while you are at it. And if you are on YouTube, please make sure you hit that red subscribe button so you can check out shows like this one in the future. And as well, go ahead and hit that notification bell so you can be notified for shows like this one in the future.
Ding.
Thank you for that, Ish. And as well, if you are on Twitter, go ahead and check us out on Periscope on Twitter. I'm going to go ahead and go to my personal page at X_Williams81. So you can go ahead and check us out through Twitter if you want to check out this episode on there. So today is the last episode recap for the regular season of the NFL. And with that being said, I had to do what I had to do, Ish, and that is bring on some special guests that have been on with us throughout the season. And I had to bring our very special friends back because we have a lot to talk about, Ish. We have some things that we have to make sure that we recap and make sure that what we talked about in the past matches up what we are talking about now in the present and also in the future as well. So let's go ahead and bring these gentlemen on board. First, we all know who he is. We all love him. It's Dat Man. It's Dat Man Dooley. You already know where to find him at all social media sites on Dat Man Dooley. Dat Man, let people know where to find you.
Absolutely. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you putting me back on the show. That's my man. I'm ready to be back and do what I do best, baby. Dat Man.
Yes, everybody have some fun tonight. And as well, KC McKinney from Just Another Football Show.
Hey, man. Always happy to be back. We're rolling into the postseason. We're rolling hard. We got all kinds of stuff on our channel, but, man, I'm happy to be back. Always making time to come on and hang out with you guys.
As always, we appreciate you for being on, KC, and especially all of your beautiful sports knowledge. So we are great to have you, and we are going to talk about some beautiful, beautiful football going into the postseason. And as well, we will not forget to last but not least, our favorite duo on Men Are Men podcast, Mr. Donavon and also Mr. Morrice. We thank y'all for being on tonight.
Yo, I'm not sure why my camera's not working, but Appreciate y'all for inviting us back to the show, man. It's a pleasure. Here to talk some stuff. Actually, I'm not going to do much talking because you already know who my team is and unfortunately what my situation is. But I'm still here to hold it down.
So what you're saying is you're really trying to hide your face from the team that you represent.
Yeah, it's funny. My camera just cut off. It was just working, though. I don't know.
There's no reason to hide your face, though.
No, I'm still trying to get it working. I'm here, though.
All right, as you hear, Mo, he's here, but he just has some technical difficulties going on. He will be back on shortly. Donavon, let the people know who you're repping. I guess he still can't hear me. He's having technical difficulties on that end as well, too. So we'll get back with him very shortly. But like I said, this is the 2022 NFL Week 18 recap, and we're going to recap very, very briefly before we go into the recap of the rest of the NFL season of what we just saw this past week. And a lot of people probably would say maybe one of the greatest weekends of NFL football ever, from the start of the Saturday night slate to the last game of the NFL regular season between the Raiders and the Chargers. Let's start off with that game, not the Raiders and the Chargers, the Saturday night game between the Chiefs and the Broncos. Start off with those two games first, Chiefs and the Broncos, and also the Cowboys and the Eagles. My Chiefs fans that are here, I want to hear what y'all have to say about this game. And is this also, because you won the game, is this a game that you feel comfortable winning going into the playoffs to feel like this is what we needed to get right?
Man, I don't know. Like, it's the wins is wins. That's the takeaway. I mean, it wasn't like pretty, but it's a division game, sort of game on the road on a Saturday. I think it's fine. This team came out, took care of business, won the game. I don't think they're going to overlook anybody, even though they beat Pittsburgh pretty handily just a few weeks ago. But getting this win was important to at least hold on to that 2 seed. Hope maybe that your Titans slipped up on Sunday, didn't quite get there. So let's play at home twice and see how the AFC Championship goes. That's the plan.
Ish.
Yeah, man. I mean, Casey said it all. A win's a win, but really, we're just taking it one game at a time. Like I've been saying since the early season situation that we had, where everybody was counting the Chiefs out. They were saying like, "Oh, everybody's figured them out, whatever." I said, "Hey, we just got to take it one game at a time, and we'll figure it out." And that's exactly what they did. So it was a win. It wasn't anything too special. Really, just getting ready for the playoffs, and they know what they got to. They know what they have to do. That's the thing about this team. They know what they have to do. We have faith in them. They've done it multiple times already. So, hey, it's business as usual.
Now, for my Kansas City Chiefs family right here, I don't call y'all my friends. Y'all are my family. Ish, you're my brother. KC, you my brother from another mother. And before the season started, now we did do this season projection of what your record is going to be for every team. And before the season started, let's be real, KC, my Kansas City Chiefs, my family, y'all were very hyped about going into this season. Just thought maybe I was going to run away with everything and just cruise into another Super Bowl run, because not just you, but also another family member of the show, Lee, who's on the comment section. I know he's going to jump on here sooner rather than later. Both of y'all say I was going to go 14-3 this season. Ended up going 12-5, which is not a slouch record, but KC 14-3. Going back to 12-5, do you feel like it humbles you? Do you feel like, if anything, it makes you hungrier going into the playoffs?
I mean, sure. I guess I misremembered. I thought I was a game lower than that, but I'll trust your trusty sheet back there.
It's on there. It's on
that's
there.
fine. That's fine. I don't know. I mean, a couple games they probably could have won. A couple games they probably could have lost. This season's been a little crazy. I mean, that Ravens game comes down to a CEH fumble. Bengals game. I mean, you score 3 points in the second half, you ain't gonna win. But the referees were out to get us that game, so. Wins and losses, it's whatever. But ultimately, the goal would have been the 1 seed. They fell a game short of that, and we'll see how it goes. But no, I think that this team is sort of firing where they need to be right now. They weren't early season, and I'd rather it be this way than the other way. So let's roll.
All right, no problem. We'll get back into the Chiefs talk very, very shortly. Let's go ahead and move on to the second late night game of that Saturday night slate, the Cowboys versus the Eagles. I'm hoping Donovan can hear me now. I'm sure Donovan has his audio right. Okay, so cool. Donovan can hear me now. So Donovan, we know you're a Cowboys fan. You said as well on the board, on the big board up here, you said 13-4 for the Cowboys. Cowboys went 12-5. You were just a game off, but you were very close. And one thing I will say about you, we just met. We haven't known each other for a long time, but one thing I do know about most Cowboy fans, they are very delusional. Okay, and it just be honest. And when I did hear you talk in the beginning of the season, you sounded like one of those delusional Cowboy fans. I'm just being honest. But as this season went along, I have to tip my hat. For the most part of the season, not all of it. There's been some times y'all stumbled a little bit, but for the most part, the Cowboys have played very well throughout the season, and I love the way that they finished out this season against the Eagles. I don't care if it's second string Eagles. I don't care if it's third string. I don't care if it's real Eagles playing against the Cowboys. A win's a win, especially if you put a 50 burger up on a professional football team. That is a great way, momentum-wise, going to the playoffs. So, Donovan, with what your Cowboys have been able to do in the regular season and also in Week 18, how confident do you feel in your Cowboys making it to a Super Bowl?
Well, one thing you left out is we did all that without a head coach.
Oh, shots fired. Okay.
No, yeah. I mean, I think the only thing holding us back is, the coach doing something crazy in the fourth quarter when it comes to clock management or something like that. But as far as the players, I'm pretty confident. I think when you go 12-5, when you win 12 games in any season, 16 game season, 17 game season, that means you have a pretty good football team. And I know our quarterback isn't playing like a $75 million quarterback. Who, I understand that. But when it comes to the matchup, I think we got a good matchup. I think going against the 49ers, I think we're going to probably put up about 35 points against them. And I
Ooh.
think we're going to win by at least 10 points. I think we're going to beat San Francisco by at least 10 points. I think Tony Pollard being able to rest last week over the weekend. I think Zeke going to give you at least 1 or 2 good games in the playoffs. That he may turn the ball over once, but we can handle that. The defense gonna get at least 2 or 3 off Jimmy G, and we gonna be all right. I'm pretty confident.
Hey, you sound confident, but you don't sound too confident like you were sounding in the regular season. But I will say this: you say you like the matchup between the 49ers, but I have 4 other members on this panel that maybe feel a little differently. Let's take it around the group. Dooley, I'll start off with you. This Cowboys versus 49ers matchup in the playoffs in the wild card weekend, do you feel like it favors the Cowboys more than the 49ers?
Well, I absolutely do feel like it favors the Cowboys. However, it will not be no landslide, okay? First of all, when 35 points on that Niners defense, please, Bosa and those boys are coming for his head, okay? So that's not happening, the 35 points. Winning by 10 is not happening. I believe it's going to be a low-scoring game, okay? Cowboys pull it off 20-17. Okay, but it will not be a cakewalk. That I will say.
All right, Casey, what you think?
I mean, the one thing I didn't hear there was the answer for Debo Samuel. This guy does it all. It's just every time you think you got him shut down doing something, he finds another way to hurt you. So that's really the key to the game. And sure, maybe Micah Parsons is the guy that just they put him on him like glue, and that's your guy for the game. We're just going to do that. But I think that the Niners is probably the worst possible card that this Cowboys team could have pulled. I think they would have rather taken any of the other wild card teams coming into this weekend.
Yep.
Morrice, who you got?
I hate to say it, man, but I think the Cowboys actually in favor of this one, man. I don't see the 49ers stopping. Like you said, Zeke probably will have a good game. Dak is trying to prove this $75 million, of course. And I think the Cowboys will pull it off. I don't know about 35, but I do see him pulling it off.
Ish.
I mean, it's a little bit different because the Rams are a divisional rival, but we just saw what they were able to do against a high-powered offense in Week 18. I agree with KC. This is the worst matchup for the Cowboys in the opening round. This is the one wild card team I've been saying all season, like, you don't want to play this team come playoff time. This is the team that Kyle Shanahan always has ready to go. They've got the right pieces on the defensive line. Casey did mention Debo Samuel, but to me, the X factor is Brandon Ayuk. If Brandon Ayuk is able to have a performance like he had in Week 18, then that puts all the more pressure on this defense on how do you stop Brandon Ayuk and then Debo Samuel on top of that. So it is a tough matchup to me. I just think it's a tough matchup, but I'm going to have to say, although earlier in the season I had predicted the 49ers to go to the Super Bowl, I'm riding with them boys, Cowboys to the Super Bowl.
That's what I'm trying to figure out with you, Ish. I mean, you did, before the season started, you had the 49ers going to the Super Bowl, but in the middle of the season, you have been riding with the Cowboys, and it comes down to this weekend to where there are no ties, so we don't have to worry about no Chargers and Raiders game where it ends into a tie and both teams move forward to the next round. It ain't going to happen this week. So for you to back the Cowboys going into this game is very eye-opening to me, because I have to agree with everybody that's saying that the 49ers is not a matchup that if I'm a Cowboys fan or organization person, whatever it is that loves the Cowboys, I do not want to play the 49ers right now because they are playing their best ball at the moment. And the one person that nobody spit out, which I was waiting on, but Mr. Kittle. What about Mr. Kittle as well? We could talk about Parsons being on Debo Samuel, but most likely that's not going to happen. If anything, he needs to be on Kittle, right? Because of
being net zero for Kittle and Parsons. That's absolutely true.
Yeah. So so now it comes down to who's going to really be able to move with Debo, because you're not going to put Jesus Christ, I can't 11 picks. Diggs. You're not gonna put Diggs on there. Diggs is gonna stay on his island. So Diggs is gonna. So you telling me? I'm listening, Donovan. So you telling me Diggs is gonna travel?
Diggs can do what he wants. Diggs lives for matchups. The only thing that hurts Diggs is he sleeps on the sorry receivers. He'll sleep every once in a while, but he ain't about to sleep on this game. He's not gonna sleep on this game. If Debo line up outside, line up on Diggs.
All right, we got a comment from Facebook from Kobe Gardner. He says, my apologies, let me read this comment right quick from Kobe. He says, 49ers 20-17. Donovan, what were you saying right quick?
The question is, can we stop him running the ball? Don't forget, I'll just say this. I don't think anybody's saying San Francisco's defense is better than New England. And I don't remember how many points we put up against them boys. So don't. This a
playoff game. This a playoff game. We ain't worried about no regular season week 4 matchups no more. We ain't worried about that no more.
We got something special going. A couple of y'all see it.
Now, I like this comment from my boy Dominique Powell. He says it's going to be a good one. I say Cowboys by 3. What it sounded like to me, I mean, this is a coin flip type of game. It's going to be very close. I mean, it's going to be a good game. Another tidbit on this matchup alone. The last 4 matchups of this winner between the Cowboys and the 49ers have gone on to not just go to the Super Bowl, but actually win the Super Bowl. So that's something we'll have to keep an eye out as well. Maybe one of these teams could continue that trend and maybe win the Super Bowl if they win this game. So I think, honestly, both teams have what it takes to win a Super Bowl. We saw the 49ers get to the Super Bowl 2 years ago and play against the Kansas City Chiefs with pretty much this core, just lost by maybe a couple plays here or there. The Cowboys, they have a great team on both sides of the ball and that are equipped to go to the Super Bowl. But like Donovan said, maybe it's the coaching that's holding them back that might not get them to a Super Bowl. So it's the NFC and the AFC is wide open. It'll be very interesting to see what happens. Christine Robichaud says Diggs is going to give up 200 yards to Debo. That could happen.
Diggs is like the Jameis Winston Buccaneers of old.
I've seen that.
He gonna put up a lot of points, right? He gets the interceptions and things, but when he don't do that, he's given up so much.
It's very true.
It's bad, man.
It's very true. All right, let's go ahead and move on. We'll get back to the Cowboys very soon as well. Let's go to a team that gave up a playoff spot. Now, none of us are really fans of the Colts or the Jags, but we definitely have to talk about this game because most of us, I'm assuming, if we was to do a pick 'em on this game going into this, most of us probably would have picked the Colts to win this game. Now, if you do check out X Talking Ish when it comes to our picks every week, I was going to be the a-hole and pick the Jags just out of spite because I don't like the Colts. I was going to pick the Jags to win this game, but I said to myself, nah, that's petty. There's no way the Jags already got the Bills. They're not going to get the Colts, right? There's no way because the Jags ready to go 1, 2, 3 Cabo. They're trying to go home, enjoy their summer vacation, but not week 18. Apparently, they wanted to play spoiler, and maybe Carson Wentz is returning back to Philadelphia. Carson Wentz, because after this game, his head coach was on the podium saying that he's not committed at the moment to Carson Wentz returning as a starter next year for the Indianapolis Colts. So, with that being said, everybody, I'll throw it to, let's go with Morrice first. The Colts, are they in trouble moving forward with what they're trying to do as an organization?
First of all, if they lose to the Jaguars, they're definitely in trouble because the Jaguars are the sorriest in our division. That being the Houston Texans.
Okay.
They're 3-14, bro. If the Colts lose this game, they might just fire the coach and forget Jameis Winston and just keep moving.
Wow.
Ish?
No, the Colts are not in trouble. The Colts not in trouble at all. To be honest, man.
Now I have a question for you though. What do you mean not in trouble at all? Because it seems like they're trying to find an heir apparent to Peyton Manning, and
they
Andrew Luck was going to be that guy. He wasn't able to be that guy, and then you have Phillip Rivers, and we saw what happened in that. Now
Andrew
we have Wentz.
That guy. Don't do that.
I mean, he was, but as we just saw on the college football final, we saw he looks like a chemistry like laboratory guy. Like he looks like somebody that's about to create meth or something. Like he doesn't look like a football player to me. Yeah, if you look at him, he looks like somebody's supposed to be on Big Bang Theory or something. He doesn't look like he played football at all.
Okay. Anyway, so
I'm just saying.
Okay, Andrew Luck was that guy. Phillip Rivers was able to do it last year for him. They really just needed a quarterback that was a winner. Carson Wentz is not a winner. At the end of the day, let's just say it. He's not the guy to lead them to where they need to be. The team was in the position to do what they needed to do and make the playoffs, and Carson Wentz did not play well. He cost this team a playoff spot. So are they in trouble? No, they're not in trouble. They just need to find that guy. And with all the movement going on this offseason, it's not going to be hard for them to get a good veteran quarterback in there to come play. And they're really a quarterback away from being in the conversation, if not possibly winning the AFC South. Like, you trying to make it seem like your Titans just ran away with the AFC South. They didn't run away with it.
So you mad we went back to back? So you mad we went back to back?
I'm just spitting facts. Y'all almost choked it up to the Colts. This very team that you're trying to ask the question, are they in trouble? I mean,
we swept the Colts. Continue though. We swept the Colts. Continue though.
It doesn't matter that
it does matter though.
You almost gave it to them. So come on.
Almost only counting horseshoes and hand grenades, baby.
Ask, are they in trouble though? It's not even a realistic question. They're not in trouble. Carson Wentz is exactly what I said he was at the beginning of the season. Sam Bradford 2.0.
The reason why I'm asking everyone is the Colts in trouble because let me remind everybody who the Colts think that they are. The Colts think that they are the Packers, right? When it comes from having generational type of quarterbacks, but they haven't produced in the way of Super Bowl ways that they probably the Packers. If anything, the Packers underachieved too with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. That's another story for another day. But the Colts, Jim Irsay, for some reason, keeps pitching this Field of Dreams type of picture to Indianapolis fan base, thinking that they are going to relive this Peyton Manning days when you can't even get back to the playoffs, and it's been like this for years now. Not the playoffs, I'm talking about underachieving. The Colts have underachieved ever since Peyton Manning has left, and I don't know if you are able to get back to just being consistent.
I don't know. You can
especially at the quarterback position, because the quarterback position, for some reason, they can't figure it out. Everything else, they can get a great linebacker, great center. They can find great pieces of wide receiver, but for some reason, they just can't get the quarterback position right now.
I don't think they underachieved. I think I think you have an inflated idea of what the Colts were. I mean, they didn't have the type of talent that they had with Peyton Manning. They obviously took a step back when Peyton Manning left, and it's going to be hard to fill his shoes. But they also lost talent around that Peyton Manning had around him. So you can't just say like they underachieved. Like they achieved pretty much where they should be, middle of the pack, kind of somewhat 500, a little above 500, and now they have the talent, they have the weapons to do what they need to do. They just need the guy there that can help them. And obviously, you're looking at Peyton Manning days and expecting them to find that guy. I'm sorry to say, but not every generation has that guy there, and you're not going to have that kind of guy on your team when you're drafting as high as they're going to draft. I mean, they're not going to draft, in the top 5. So what are you expecting from them?
Well, talk to Jim Irsay about that. Don't talk to me. Dooley, what you got for me?
Man, honestly, the whole division is abysmal. They're honestly going back to what you're saying. Let's just be honest. As the Titans fan, good job. No disrespect, but they had no challenge all season. You better be the number 1 seed in the AFC, buddy. Okay, so you got the Jaguars, you got the Texans, you got the Colts, who had to win 1 out of 2 to get their behinds in the playoffs. They had to win 1 out of 2 of the last 2 weeks of football. What they do? They coughed it all up. Okay, now are the Colts in trouble? Absolutely not. They have arguably the best running back in the league next to King Henry. Taylor, great running back who's running the ball absolutely fantastic at the moment. It's just so crazy how they didn't even make the playoffs with that type of rushing season he had. So that's just a disrespect to their running back. You know, it's like, man, you telling me with all this effort and we can even get in the playoffs based off our running game? That goes to show you Carson Wentz needs to go. And they're only a quarterback away from possibly dominating an already abysmal division. And that's all I have to say there. They need a new quarterback, and that's that.
We appreciate that. We appreciate that. KC, what you got for us?
Well, I mean, let's point out the only team that had an easier schedule this season than the Tennessee Titans was the Buffalo Bills. They just managed to mess it all up. But as far as the Colts go, I don't know what it is with the Jags. That's 7 straight that the Colts have lost on the road.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy too.
In Jacksonville or in London, whatever. I mean, what happened 7 years ago doesn't play any part on what just happened. That's an argument I've had with a few people. I don't think that the Colts really understood what they had in Jonathan Taylor as early as we all think that they did. If you go back and look at his first few games, wasn't great. I think this team is okay as far as that goes. The quarterback situation, though, man, Wentz, he's not an NFL quarterback anymore. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. Like, I bought into it coming into this season. I thought, maybe we'll see shades of that. Could have been an MVP season. He's not there, and they're going to have to do something, I think. I mean, you're going to see a lot of wide receivers on the market this year. There were a lot of mercenary deals because of the way the cap was. So there are a lot of guys out there they could go after and maybe help out Wentz if they want to commit to him for another season. But ultimately, I don't know that Wentz is the answer. This team lost Andrew Luck. I know that we make all the jokes we want. We all saw the terrible Andrew Luck look last night as we're sitting here. But I mean, he was a top 8 quarterback in the league when he just up and retired. It kind of left this team in a jolt there. So to be able to immediately recover from that, I wouldn't expect that from most teams. So I don't know. I don't know that they're done, but man, they got to figure out an answer at quarterback because Carson Wentz ain't it.
Before I move on to Donovan, I will say this though. I'm pretty sure the Colts organization and fan base assumed that they were getting better moving on from Phillip Rivers to Wentz. I could be wrong, but I mean, I'm assuming. But
there was a couple less interceptions. That's about it.
It was, but some of those interceptions Wentz had definitely changed the whole game, especially against the Titans. Donovan?
I ain't not gonna lie, that whole division is. It's not.
Hold up. You a Cowboys fan. Hold up, everybody. This is a Cowboys fan talking about division. Now continue, sir. Continue.
I'm not gonna lie. I find it hard to get excited about any team, any of those teams. Anytime I see the Titans or the Texans or the sorry Jaguars or the Colts, it's like they're not playing the same level of football as everybody else. I'm not gonna lie. And the Colts.
Oh, my apologies. The NFC East is the SEC, and everybody else is just the pack nothing, huh? Is what you're saying?
You name an AFC. What is it? The AFC South. You name an AFC South team that's more popular than any of the NFC East teams, and you're not going to be able to find one.
So we're going off of popularity. We're not going off of actual things we do on the football field. That we're doing now.
That does have something to do with the way I'm starting this whole.
So the Washington football team, literally every week, you have a sexual harassment case come out. You have the stadium is falling apart. The something going on in either the players or in the management, but yet the Washington football team is a better organization. I'd rather run with the Jags than run with the Washington football team.
The Texans had a whole massage thing going on, and they couldn't even get.
That's one player. That's not the whole organization. Now, if you would have said something about them owning slaves or whatnot, because the inmates don't run the plantation as one of the owners said it before he passed away, you could have definitely used that.
All poor organizations are poor. I'm just saying, you find a worse division as far as wanting to watch those teams than those 4 teams. I'm talking even the Tennessee Titans. They're not a fun
I
team
can't
to
lie.
watch.
I can't lie.
They're not
I
a fun
agree.
team to
I
watch.
agree on that.
And that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. I respect that. I got it. But let's go ahead and move on with your NFC leads. Go ahead and continue. I got you.
Saying the Colts are that team as well, meaning they have great offensive line. Nobody wants to watch the offensive line play. They have a great linebacker, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to Carson Wentz, and he doesn't have anybody to throw to outside of a second-round pick in Pittman, who nobody's really going to knock down any door and say he's a top 10 receiver in the league. So I think a part of it is we said earlier, they didn't have a whole lot of talent to begin with. They just got the number one running back, and what's going to happen is they're going to pay that number one running back just like they paid Zeke. He's going to probably last a little bit longer than Zeke because he's seen what happens to Zeke when you don't take care of yourself. But they're going to try to ride that horse as long as they can. But they're not going nowhere until they get more talent. Carson Wentz is only going to go so far. And if you give him a top 5 receiver, Carson Wentz could probably do a lot. He ain't doing it with Michael Pittman and a declining Doyle and
Mo Alley Cox.
Hilton only plays good against the Texans. Sorry ass. I don't got it.
That's Ty owns the stadium out here in Houston. All right, let's get to the comments.
Every time he plays them, I play fantasy. Put a million on that.
You got to. That's easy money right there. Let's get to the comment section right quick. Lee says, "Hey, the NFC got more playoff teams than the AFC South." This is very true. I definitely understand. I got that. Travis Crow also says the East has 2 playoff teams. Yes, I understand.
We got it.
Don't
Fracture. We got it. Fracture Walnut. Not today. No, I'm just kidding. I got it. Fracture Walnut says, Trey Wentz and asked for Rivers back. I'm pretty sure Rivers wouldn't mind running the back one good time. I'm pretty sure them kids running him wild. And also, Cody Chapman says, fellas, what's happening? We appreciate you for checking us out.
Y'all don't think Rivers should just go ahead and just call it quits?
I mean, he did. That's why he retired.
He did call it quits.
He did.
He just got stayed.
He said ask him back. I'm like,
no.
Where he at? Like,
no.
I mean, that's on Wentz. If Wentz want to stay, he can stay. If you want to come back, I mean, we've seen NBA players come running the back because of COVID and whatnot. You know, folks coming back out of retirement to play. So who knows? Maybe Wentz might run it back one more time.
Shoot, the Texans are gonna need somebody.
Yeah, line on that one. All right, let's get into a couple more games before we recap. Before we recap these predictions that we had before the season started, let's go ahead and talk about this matchup, the divisional matchup, which did not go the way that I predicted because I assumed the Rams would split that series, but it looked like the 49ers felt like, hey, we're going to go ahead and sweep you out this season, Rams, and I honestly feel like with the Rams winning that game, that's what's going to help them continue to build up that Sonic the Hedgehog speed and just take off into the playoffs. And KC, I'll let you start this one off first. This game, does this say more about the 49ers or the Rams?
I don't know if it says like more about either. I don't know. Like this is the way it is. I'm done betting on Sean McVay in these games.
You ain't never lie on that.
Right? I thought the Rams were going to win this game. I was with you, X. I really like. It was my pick. I put some money on it. I felt pretty good. This Rams team wanted the 2 seed. Wanted to prove that this was their thing, but they just, I don't know what it is about this Niners team. They just can't stop them. And
they're like cockroaches.
Yeah. And we've seen this Niners team struggle against other teams. So I'm not saying that this Niners team is unstoppable. They do certain things really well, but to watch the way that the Rams got up in this game and then McVay got on the field and celebrated and then all of a sudden
everything just started crashing.
It was over. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't know, man. I'm not going to do it anymore. I can't pick them, especially in this matchup. But, Stafford ain't look good. He's been throwing a lot of interceptions. That's problematic. This team, watch out this weekend, guys. Like, watch out. This could be it.
Now, let's remind everybody before this game.
Mortgaged the whole future on this team. They've given away everything.
That's what the Rams. That's what the Rams have been doing since Sean McVay got there. Anyways, though they've been giving up first round picks to try to win right now. So I mean that's what they do. But let's also remind everybody, Sean McVay at the moment before Sean McVay before that weekend was 45-0 when leading at halftime. Of course, that has changed now. He's 46-1. But that was just interesting to just that tidbit alone to be undefeated when leading at halftime. That's just remarkable in itself. But let me swing it to Dooley. Like I asked KC Dooley, who's this game tell more about, the 49ers or the Rams?
Well, being a Bay Area kid, I would love to tell you it's about the San Francisco 49ers. You know, beating the better team, but it's not. It's about the team we thought was one of the best teams in the NFC this season. Earlier in the season, most of us had the Rams doing big things, okay? The Rams are not who we thought they were. And them losing twice to the Niners shows that exactly. Yes, the Niners are also a playoff team, but that doesn't matter to me, okay? It's wins like that the Rams must get. They should have split the series, at least with my man KC his money. You know, they could have done something over there to make it all happen, you know, but unfortunately, that's not how the cookie crumbles. So this says more about the Rams, which are a better team. Do I have the Rams getting deep in the playoffs? They might win this game against the Niners. Maybe. I mean, they might win for their first playoff game. But I don't see the Rams getting deep in the playoffs. I don't see them getting to the NFC Championship. And if they do, they're certainly not going to win it. Not against Green Bay, I'll tell you that much. If the Rams run into the Packers, cookies. The way this season was looking, matter of fact, who do the Rams play first round? I guess we'll discuss that.
They'll play Monday Night Football, the first ever wild card Monday football game against the Cardinals.
Arizona.
Against the Cardinals. Okay, so another division opponent who's been playing well this season as well.
But not towards the end of the season, though. That's the only thing. The Cardinals have been going like that. That's the only thing. So, if anything, the Rams might have lucked up. They might have lucked up with this matchup, but we don't know which team on both sides is going to show. We don't know which Cardinals team is going to show. We don't know which Rams team is going to show up. So that matchup by on itself is very interesting to me.
Definitely. I mean, in my opinion, the Cardinals have had an injury-plagued season. You got the best receiver in football being knocked out weeks ago. That doesn't help anything out here, boys.
Lamar Jackson would hope to have some of the players that the Cardinals have had. I mean, you talk about injuries. I mean, it's teams over here that wish they didn't have the injuries that they had.
I know, but Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray would love to be Lamar Jackson. So, I mean, for that matter, so it's like, okay, Lamar makes everything roundabout. Yes, I say it. So
Lamar probably wish he had Kyler's arm. I mean, we can do that too. I mean,
I like Mar.
We can talk about that another time.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, the Rams are basically overrated. That's what I'm stating. Neither one of these teams are making it to the Super Bowl. Bam, I'm done.
All right, let's go ahead and take it to Donovan. What you think? More about the Rams or more about the Cardinals?
I think the Rams are pretty much going to be who the Rams are. I don't think anybody's going to say that Cooper Kupp's dominance this year means that they're going to actually make it to a Super Bowl and win it. I still think that they're probably going to – their quarterback's probably still not good enough. I don't know. I'm not putting my faith in Matt Stafford. So they'll probably win a game, but I don't really see them making it to the Super Bowl. I don't see the Rams making it. So I think the Rams are better than the 49ers overall, but I think the Rams are such a talented team that it's easy for them to overlook the 49ers. They were already in the playoffs. The Rams know that it's Super Bowl or bust. They've spent a lot of money over the last couple of years. They have the young coach, and they pretty much said, look, young coach, I don't care how good a draft you are. You don't even have to draft well. We will buy you a good team. We believe in your offensive mind. And so far, they have not gotten anything out of that. They haven't won a Super Bowl. They got a new shiny stadium, no Super Bowl. So the whole thing with them losing to the 49ers, they got to win the Super Bowl. And I think that's the only thing that matters.
100% agree on that. 100%
Nobody cares about 49ers. Nobody thinks Jimmy G is going to win the Super Bowl.
I don't see why it can't happen. Why Jimmy G can't win a Super Bowl for the Niners?
Not against a healthy league. I'll tell you that much.
I mean,
yeah.
we've seen Trent Dilfer win one.
He was a reception to Emmanuel Sanders away from winning a Super Bowl.
And this is coming from a Chiefs fan. That's it. Yeah. I mean, I don't see why he can't do it.
Pass, they won that Super Bowl. That's all there is to it.
Did you just mention Trent Dilfer, who had one of the best defenses of all time, banking him?
Again, you have to still make the throws. You have to still do the things you have to do as a quarterback to win the Super Bowl. And again, what we're stating is that why Jimmy G can't do it.
Do it already. He's already proven that
he's already
they drafted his replacement. He sent the replacement.
We just saw this weekend him make plenty of great throws on drives in this game to win this game for them to go to the playoffs. I don't see why he cannot continue to do it and put themselves in a position to win the Super Bowl. That's all I'm saying. I don't think he can win a Super Bowl. I'm just saying, why not?
Jimmy G will be the Texans quarterback next year.
Oh no, nobody wants to come to Houston. Stop.
No, the Niners had the perfect excuse to start Trey Lance this weekend. The thumb with Jimmy G.
You're 100% correct.
They rolled Jimmy G out there. They are more confident in Jimmy G right now than they are in Trey Lance, who didn't look good last weekend. He started rolling good. Sure, he got together, and by the end of the game, maybe looked okay. But ultimately, I'm not sure he's the guy there. I think they may have made a huge mistake in drafting Trey Lance. Time will tell. But Jimmy G right now is their quarterback and probably will be next season as well.
That's interesting. Coming from
he's under contract. Keep him around.
When they let Colin Kaepernick go, they ain't been right since.
They made a Super Bowl after they let Colin Kaepernick go. I mean, they shouldn't have, but they still made a Super Bowl.
This is true. The 49ers are a weird organization. They kind of remind me of the Broncos, where they can be the bottom dwellers, and then all of a sudden next year they'll be in the Super Bowl. It's crazy, but
that's a good
happens.
Comparison.
I mean, the Denver Broncos could have a quarterback, not have a quarterback for 6 years, and then all of a sudden next year in the Super Bowl. It's ridiculous the way they do things over there. But let's get to the comment section right quick. Kobe Gardner says, he talked about the previous topics we were talking about. He says, Baker to the Colts. Well, previous reports just in the last couple of days said that Baker will be staying in Cleveland, so I don't think he'll be getting moved anytime soon. Fractured walnut.
They're better off with Wentz.
I agree. I definitely agree on that one. Fractured Walnut also says that's just how bad Wentz was this season for them, talking about the Colts and them underachieving. He also says it's all on the Rams. You can't get all those players over the past years and fail. He also says no matter who the Rams run into, they have no chance, in my opinion. And that's some big words, again, coming from this is an organization where a lot of people assume that they were at least the minimum NFC Conference Championship game, right? Because all the pieces you're putting together, and then of course getting the pieces that you got during in the season as well too, with Von Miller and OBJ, to where they are all in. And I don't think that they can just flip on a switch and turn it on like the Kansas City Chiefs, because they haven't won anything yet. If they won a Super Bowl a year ago, 2 years ago, I could say, okay, they have the championship DNA to turn on the switch and find a way to make it back to another Super Bowl. But nobody believes in Sean McVay. No disrespect to Sean McVay, but nobody believes in Sean McVay. Nobody believes in Matt Stafford. And other than just having stars around on both sides of the ball, you don't have anybody that we can say, oh, we believe in that person. What, maybe, I guess, Cooper Kupp, the Triple Crown wide receiver at the moment. Other than that, I mean, there's nobody reliable that you can say, I believe in this. Again, maybe Aaron Donald. I can take this guy. This guy can take me to the promised land. Aaron Donald, and that's really much it. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Rams in the NFC. But it seems like a lot of people. Well, who knows? I'll be honest with everybody. Maybe this is the best thing for the Rams. Maybe to go into the playoffs with low expectations and nobody believe in them, so they don't have to worry about having that pressure on them.
It's still a 12-5 team. I mean,
and they kind of limped into that 12-5 record as well too. They really could have won 13 or 14 games. All right, last comment from Fractured Walnut. He says Rams remind me of the Lakers when Malone and Payton signed them. That's not the same at all. No, we're not doing that, because if the Rams not even going to make it to the finals, so we're not doing that. All right, Lee also says that run game has been solid. I feel like Cam Akers coming back like Wolverine messes up that whole mojo with Sonny and Henderson. I'm honestly not a fan of Akers coming back this season, but we'll see what happens with that.
I don't think he's really coming back.
No, he played on Sunday.
But I don't think he's really like.
I understand. Yeah, I got you. No, I got you. But I mean, they're playing him, so I mean they're trying to insert him into the offense. So, I mean, obviously he's back, but I just don't like that he's coming back so early from an Achilles injury. That's just too scary for me as a running back. I just don't like that. But all right, let's get into the last game and also the last game of this 2021-2022 NFL season, the first ever Week 18 schedule of the NFL, and for it to come down to this Chargers versus Raiders game, to come down to it almost maybe tying, to it turning into a game-winning field goal by the Raiders. Let me hear what y'all have to say about this game, because I know where I was at watching the game, and I was in disbelief that last minute and a half of what was going on. Let's start off with the Raider hater, Mr. KC McKinney. Let's go ahead and start with you, baby.
I mean, he's not wrong.
I know I'm not.
Hey, we went out and saw the Chiefs whoop some ass in Vegas. So we were all rooting for a tie, right? Can we get that on the table? Is that something we're rooting for?
I know I was low key though.
Well, the thing with that is not only for like a chaos standpoint, but maybe the NFL looks at that and goes, "Oh shit, maybe that's not what we want. We should change this rule." But I don't know. Coming out of Sunday night, I really felt like maybe that timeout taken changed a lot. Like that the Raiders were very content with running this out. They were probably still going to kick a field goal, be it 60 yards or 47 that it ended up being. But they still, that timeout I think really irritated them, and I think it changed part of their mindset. Now, you talk to Raiders fans, and I've talked to a few since. The first thing they've all said to me is, "Oh no, we were always going to try to win that game. We didn't want to go to Arrowhead," and that makes sense. Like the Chiefs have murdered the Raiders twice this year. If you can avoid it, and you can put the Chargers, who arguably are probably the best team that didn't make the playoffs, two birds.
I got you. Donovan, what you think of the game?
I mean, aren't the Chargers like every year one of the best teams to not make? I feel like they
always wrong.
One of the
You ain't lying on now. Yeah, you ain't lying now.
Golly, man, I don't know who to blame this year. I can't blame Phillip Rivers. I can't blame the coach. Is it LA? Like what's up with the Chargers?
You can definitely blame the coach this year.
I was gonna say it's definitely the coach.
Are we going to continue to blame the coaches? I mean, we're gonna.
I mean, when you've had minimum, I want to say, back me if I'm wrong, Ish or Casey, a minimum, I want to say 4 to 5 games this season alone where he has put his team in situations where all you had to do is take the points and you win the game instead of going for it on unnecessary fourth down situations, either because of analytics, either because of fielding, or either whatever it is. No. Because when Anthony Lynn was the head coach, they were too conservative. But at least when they were too conservative, at least they're going to get the points, and at least they're going to put themselves in position to actually maybe win the game. They are in position to not just win the game, but maybe even win the game by a touchdown or two. But because of some of the stupid calls that the head coach is making, it puts them behind the 8 ball twice because of just stupidity, to where everybody in the stadium sees what's going on. Like, dude, punt the ball. Why are you going for on fourth down when you're on your own 18-yard line? That right there itself, that is New York Giants coaching right there. That doesn't even need. That's Madden. That's Madden when you're playing against an 8-year-old type of offense. Like, stop. That is just so disrespectful. That if I'm Justin Herbert, I have to do a for real sit down and figure out, do I want this head coach to be with me for the next 10 years? Because Justin Herbert is the future. Zach Taylor. Oh, no, Zach. I'm sorry. Brandon Staley. Brandon Staley is not the future. So for Justin Herbert, if next year is going to be a very telling year for the Chargers. If something like this happens again next year, Staley's gone, and Herbert, of course, is still going to stay there. But they cannot have this type of talent wasted year in and year out. Again, KC, it looks like you're ready to say something.
The only thing else, I mean, obviously the play you just talked about, that fourth down inside their own 20, that's terrible. The rest of the things, though, I think most of the offense, you talk about him like a sit down with Justin Herbert, every offense is going to be that aggressive type thing. They're going to want to be the ones that go out there and do the stuff. And we can play if they would have just taken the points here, they would have won. That it's the same as the Browns-Chiefs playoff game last year. If the fumble through the end zone doesn't happen, right, the Browns win that game. We got a whole half of football. The game plan changes. Patrick Mahomes probably doesn't get hurt, and he still comes out and wins that game. Like, everything changes when decisions change, right? It's a butterfly effect. But that fourth down from the 18, they only came away with 3 points, right? That's something. But ultimately, I think Justin Herbert's going to look at somebody and go, well, yeah, we want to play to win the game. We want to be aggressive. We want to go for it on fourth downs. He showed in this game on fourth downs in that final minute, he can do it. But that fourth down inside their own 20 is a real head scratcher. It's the only time that I really can't defend what's going on. I will defend the analytics a lot of the time, but I don't get that at all.
I'm going to throw this to Dooley in a second, but I just want to say this. I understand everybody's point of view on where we're coming from, and you're not wrong, KC, Donovan, you're not wrong. I'm just saying, when I'm looking at coaches like a Brandon Staley, who's only been in the league for a couple years, right, as a head coach, compared to a guy like Jim Harbaugh, who has that right to say, hey, team, do we want to go for it on fourth down? And the team says, hell yeah, let's go for it. And even if they don't get it or whatever it is to win the game, they're not going to come down as hard as Harbaugh as they're going to do on Staley, because he's a Super Bowl winning coach. He has a quarterback that's won an MVP. He's already proven, and it's not going to look as bad as a look for the Ravens compared to the Chargers. With the Chargers, again, they've been put in situations this year where they should have won games. But because of silly play calling, it just seems like they've probably missed out on 2 or 3 games that they should have won. And that's my biggest problem with what the Chargers trying to do is like, yes, I completely agree. Let's go out and go win the game. I got that. But let's also be smart about it. That's all. Dooley?
No, I'm definitely with you 100%. I feel like the Chargers, they've had so many opportunities this season to get to the next level. When you lose to a team like the Raiders, you got to blame coaching. You know what I mean? Because it's like the Raiders are just the Raiders. They'll mess it up for themselves. You know what I mean? So as far as
True.
Exactly. So when it comes to the Chargers, honestly, the Chargers were the one team outside of the Chiefs who I thought were for sure going to the playoffs earlier this season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Turns out things don't always go the way they plan out, you know? So when it comes to the Chargers, honestly, the future is in the quarterback, but the future will not be in the coach. They do need to replace the coach. I agree with you 100%, X. I don't have much to say on this topic. Good win for the Raiders.
No, you're good. Let's get to the comment section right quick. I don't leave my boys hanging on the comments. My boy Lee says, as a Chiefs fan, I personally love the ending. Yes, I do know. We were texting throughout that, and he was very excited about throughout that whole game. Lee also says, a tie would have been fun, but as an AFC playoff team, you would much rather go head-to-head with Big Ben than Herbie. I like the outcome. Fracture Walnut on YouTube also says, if you are the Chargers owner, do you trust your coach anymore with the timeout he called as well? That's something we haven't talked about. We'll talk about very shortly. He also says, also after with all the bad decisions he made. Also, Dominique Powell also says he's not worse than Matt Rule. So, hey, I guess that's one way you can look at it over there. Lee also says Justin Herbert was waving his hand to keep the offense on the field. He wanted to go for it on his own 18, not defending the coach, but that's on Herbert. They talked about that on NFL Live. Okay, and Lee, if that is 100% correct, those are one of those situations where you as a coach have to protect your player. I mean, hey, Ish, you can shake your head. Dom is saying yes. I mean, I'm just saying, as a coach, last time I checked, you are supposed to be the person that say yay or nay on certain things. And again, as a smart coach, punt the ball away. Do not let a second-year quarterback tell you, "Nah, coach, we gonna go for it because I feel it. I got it."
That's not just
in practice. In practice, we gonna run. This play in practice work all the time. We gonna run it right now. No, Herbert, kick the ball away. Live to play another down. Like that's the easiest, simple answer. But Ish, go ahead. You got it.
Number one, that's not just a second-year quarterback. That's the face of the franchise.
I got you.
Right?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong on that. But still, like, common sense. That's all. I'm sorry.
Can you hold on? That's not just any quarterback. That's not just a second-year quarterback. That's the face of the franchise. That's the franchise guy. So if the franchise guy is out there on the field telling you, "Hey, let's go for it. Let's go. We got this." You go with the franchise guy, because if he doesn't go with the franchise guy, you know what's going to happen? He would have been fired on Monday, okay? Because the franchise guy would have been like, "Hey, we're out here. We were doing this, and this guy obviously isn't the guy that wants to win. He doesn't want to win. So they're going to get rid of him." The franchise guy is telling you, go for it. You're going to go for it as the coach, because guess who has the pull there? The franchise guy has the pull. Okay.
Yeah, you just said it. You just said, should they ask Justin Herbert if they can keep the coach?
Yeah, you said they should ask Justin Herbert. Then you'll come back and say no. Okay, but on top of that, let me just
not that play, but continue.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so now,
was a terrible play call. Let's be honest.
That's all I'm saying. But continue.
That's the worst play call I've ever seen.
I mean, it's a terrible play call, but again, it's Justin Herbert, the franchise guy. He has to go with that guy. Then, not to mention, in the last minute, did they not go for it on fourth down? How many times? And they got it every time. So Justin Herbert showing you, like,
because they had to. Because they had to.
Justin Herbert.
At that time, they didn't have to go for it. But I got you though. You're not wrong on what you're saying is. You're not wrong. What I'm stating is that at that time and period of the game, it was too early to go for it. And at that particular part of the field, at that particular time of the game, that is all I'm stating.
And if they had got it, then we would be over here talking about how great
it ain't no if, man. That's the issue.
And if was a fifth, we'll all be drunk, baby.
This is why Tom Brady and Bill Belichick had to spend the night together and say, "Hey, man, we keep running this league. It's getting kind of boring. Can we spice it up a little bit and break up so we can make it interesting?" And still taking over the damn league. This is why they have to they had to break up for the league to even have a chance to breathe, because coaches do dumb shit. Players, like, you don't have enough quarterbacks who cannot make mistakes. Tom Brady literally runs rub routes all day. You fall asleep and then he throws it over your head. That's his whole plan since New England, and they continue to do it. And they have a coach who doesn't lose the game, and that's how Tom Brady and Bill Belichick are always in the topic, because they just play smart. You have idiot coaches and teams like the Chargers, who apparently this just happens, because I promise you the Chargers have been having these issues for years, where they have been too good, they're talented, but they have nothing. They have less results than my Cowboys. Let's just be honest. The Cowboys and the Chargers over the last decade have been talented teams, and even the Cowboys have performed a little bit better than the Chargers.
I mean, they've suffered from bad coaching. It just is what it is. They've suffered from some bad coaching, and it's put them in bad spots.
All right. Well, I appreciate Donovan for the segue, because Donovan is going to help us segue over to a topic, of course, I don't know if anybody saw, but Black Monday, meaning, of course, we had some coaches get fired over the week, or over the weekday after the week was over with, week 18. And if you're not familiar with Black Monday, that is, of course, the day after the regular season, meaning that multiple coaches throughout the season will get fired on Monday, or the trickle-down effect of Tuesday, Wednesday. But I just put up here the names of the coaches that have gotten fired so far. There could be some more coaches that get fired over the next couple more days. We shall wait and see. But at the moment, the Broncos head coach Vic Fangio, the Bears head coach Matt Nagy, Vikings coach Mike Zimmer, Dolphins coach Brian Flores, and the Giants coach Joe Judge at the moment. Of course, the biggest surprising name for a coach to get fired is Brian Flores from the Dolphins. The two coaches that are not surprising at all that got fired is the Bears' Matt Nagy and the Giants' Joe Judge. But with all of the coaching movements and the coaching change at the moment, which one of these coaches, and we'll go around, which one of these coaches will be able to bounce back on their feet? And I'm not talking about it as a head coach, but just bounce back on their feet to either slide in as a coordinator or as a head coach and be able to pick up where they left off at on a better route. Because again, majority of the times if you got fired, it's usually because you're going on the downslope. So where can one of these coaches go to where they can go back up on an uptrend? Let's start with you, Dooley. Who do you think?
Well, honestly, you got to go with Mike Zimmer. Okay, he's the most seasoned of them all. You know, he's got the most pull around the league. The league is a league of respect. If you don't have respect, you're not going to get hired. Zimmer was what? The coach of the Vikings for about what now? It's been seasoned at least what, 4 or 5?
6 years.
Right. So it's like none of those other coaches held it down nearly as long. Okay. Now, with all that being said, it was time for the Vikings to fire him, but he will have the easiest road to getting a job in this league if he wanted, and that's due to seniority. I'm done.
Thank you for that, Dooley.
Yep.
All right, Mo, who you got, Mo?
I got Brian Flores. I think actually the Texans should maybe pick him up some kind of way.
Nobody wants to go to the Texans, but continue.
Yeah, stop
trying to recruit for the Texans. Nobody wants to go there.
Stop doing that, man.
That's my input. That's my.
Yeah, you know, Bill Belichick, one of the greatest coaches. I think he want to come to the Texans.
Hey, Bill Belichick was trending on Twitter the other day. He said
not to come to Houston. Not to come to Houston.
Yeah,
not coming here. No.
KC, who you got?
The surprise was obviously Flores, right? But I will say, and I argued with a couple people about that. I'm not saying he deserved to be fired. He kept the locker room together, won some games. They beat one team in that long streak that they had that was over 500, and it was the Ian Book-led Saints. So let's pump the brakes a little bit. They beat the Patriots on a terrible fumble by Jeremy and Harris at the end of the game, and they beat a Patriots team that knew they weren't winning the division anyway in Week 18. So, yeah. But I'm going to agree, though. I think that Flores is the guy. And I think there's a world that the Texans are eyeballing him.
Oh, Lord,
saying,
here you go.
Hold on. Saying, going to Deshaun, because Deshaun likes Flores. If they can go to Deshaun and say, hey, if we can bring in your guy, the guy that you want, will you stick with us?
No.
And I think it's possible.
Now, I have heard that. I have heard that in the rumblings that if Flores is able to get persuaded to come and be the head coach for the Texans, maybe there could be a rekindling for Deshaun to come back. But I agree for everybody that lives here in Houston, the damage is done. It's not going to be fixed, and Deshaun has to move on. It doesn't matter if you bring in Bill Parcells. I mean, it don't matter who you bring in. It's just not going to be fixed. It's not going to
work, yeah.
At this moment. And no disrespect to Brian Flores, but he don't have enough cachet to be able to come into Houston and say, we going to run this with Deshaun if y'all like it or not. That's the main unfortunate thing with that.
The organization still wants Deshaun Watson here, right? The organization still very much wants Deshaun Watson if he will change his mind. The problem is Deshaun Watson isn't going to change his mind. He doesn't want to play for this organization. He doesn't want to play for this owner. So it's their fault. And honestly, it is Cal McNair's fault. It's Cal McNair's fault that Deshaun Watson does not want to be in Houston playing for the Texans. And he was very happy and grateful after signing the contract that he did. And then Cal McNair went around and made promises he obviously didn't want to honor. And now Deshaun Watson doesn't want to be here. And if I'm Brian Flores, I honestly don't want to coach for this Texans organization, if I'm just being honest. So all this nonsense about Brian Flores coming to Houston and that possibly saving Deshaun Watson from being traded, everybody that thinks that, please – Go reassess the situation, because I'm telling you right now, and I can confirm without a shadow of a doubt from Deshaun Watson's camp, they've already stated that they will not. It hasn't come out, but they've already stated even if Brian Flores comes, he does not want to stay with the Texans organization.
I have to agree with this on that one. Donovan, what do you think?
Yeah, when it well, I mean, yeah, I guess we can all agree on Brian Flores just because did he have a reason to get fired? I
Yes.
mean,
Well, yeah, I mean,
what
we
was
could
his
talk about that in
reason
a
to get
second. I mean,
fired?
we
They
we can
were a
round table.
horrible,
Okay, can I
horrible
state
performance
that?
out there.
Can I state right quick? Okay, the season prior, you won 10 games. You were on the outside looking into the playoffs. You probably should have made the playoffs. You just missed it maybe by a game, right? So usually when a team, let's not even use the Dolphins. Let's just use like a team like the Saints. The Saints, if you had a 10-win season going into the next season, you expect to win 10 games minimum and then also contend for a playoff team, right? Going into the Dolphins season, let's remember they started off the season 1-7. At that point in time, I assumed and I said it on the show, I thought Brian Flores was going to get fired in the middle of the season. People called me crazy, and I understand that, but I thought he was going to get fired in the middle of the season. They, of course, turn it around, have a 7-game losing streak and also a 7-game winning streak, the only team in NFL history to ever have that.
His
And
leash so
that and
short
that
after winning 10 games. Why is
what I was
his
going to
leash
say,
so
that
short?
probably was going to maybe save his job, but rumblings in the locker room stated that apparently him and Tua did not see eye to eye. Of course, the owner loves some Tua, but it just seemed like Brian Flores and Tua are not on the same page. And guess what? Like we talked about with the last topic with Staley and Herbert, they're going to pick the superstar quarterback before they pick the coach. And that's pretty much what I saw with this. I don't think it was a race thing. I don't think it was a Brian Flores is a bad coach thing. I don't think it was a Tua just that much better than Brian Flores as a personality. I just think they have to roll with Tua. They picked him as a first round pick, and they have to figure out who they compare with Tua coaching wise. Ish.
That was the key. That's the key to it. That's the key that you mentioned right there. The fact that they have to roll with Tua, a young quarterback, and let's just be honest, the NFL is a copycat league, right?
Yep.
Can we just say that?
We saw with Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury. We see with Sean McVay and Stafford.
These young offensive gurus that's the trend right now.
Kyle Shanahan and Jimmy G.
Like, if you have a young quarterback, who do you pair them with? You go get a young guru on the offensive side and you bring him in and you allow him to do it. The problem that Brian Flores has is that unfortunately for him, he's a defensive guy, all right? And the Dolphins are trying to sell tickets. They're trying to sell the fan base on the fact that
they're trying to find another Dan Marino.
Exactly. They need a young offensive guru to come in there and make it look attractive to the fans, to make it look attractive to, the rest of the league. Like, oh, we got this guy that we're going to, we got Jalen Waddle.
I was going to say, imagine what you can do with an offensive guru with Jalen Waddle and all those guys on there.
So that, honestly, Brian Flores, there wasn't much cause there for him to be fired. But because he's a defensive coach, that's why he got fired. If he were an offensive guy, I think they would give him
another year. Yep, I agree.
He's a defensive guy, they're like, nope, we got to go find the guy that's going to be Tua's mentor or whatever, his best friend.
I 100% agree. Let me get to the comment section right quick. Lee says, over under on how fast Flores gets hired. Sheesh. He also says Fangio is going to be a major DC somewhere, no question. And, of course, I was going to get to that in a second. Cody Chapman also says easy coach Florishausen. I'm assuming that's a joke between Casey and Cody.
He thinks he's funny.
Okay. Okay, he would be most sought after. Dominique also says, I can't believe the Dolphins did that. I mean, I can, but hey, that's another topic for another day. Fracture One also says, which team do you say is the best opening available? I say the Bears, young QB, and a top 5 player on defense, and K-Mac. We'll talk about that in a second. Cody also says Zimmer. He had a horrible culture in the locker room. Definitely won't be coaching next year unless Gettleman still has a job, which he most likely won't. He did just, of course, retire from the New York Giants. And also Dominique Powell says, I don't think Tua is going to be a superstar. I don't think so as well, but we'll get into that again shortly. I'll just say my 2 cents. I was going to say what Lee said, and I have to go with Fangio. I think he can be somebody like a Jim Schwartz, somebody like for the Chiefs, defense coordinator for the Chiefs. I can't remember his name right now. KC ish.
Yeah, y'all don't know y'all squad.
You know what I'm talking about. Not. Can you help me out? You help me out? No.
I've been drinking since 5 o'clock, man.
Okay, well it's fine. Anyways, the defense coordinator.
I wonder, what is he doing? I mean, now they're playing well, but
Oh, you saying what do you mean?
Yeah, what are we at?
I'm just asking. And thank you, Lee. Thank you, Spagnolia. Thank you, Lee. Anyways, I'm thinking about the defensive coordinators that are really good at what they do coordinating wise when they go from either a head coach back to defense coordinator or just, again, being able to like Dan Quinn, my bad, Derek for the Cowboys. Dan Quinn, you went from unfortunately just having that ugly stain in the mouth from being with the Vikings. Being with the Falcons. My apologies. You go back with the Cowboys, and all of a sudden you look like a superstar because you have Parsons making your job look a lot easier because he's out there doing his thing. I can see Fangio, and this is an alley-oop for you, Maurice. Going to a team like the Houston Texans.
Here we go with this.
What did I do now? What did I do? I'm serious.
No, I'm done.
I'm serious. We're trying to help out the Houston Texans. They need help.
Y'all stop projecting everybody to the name.
Everybody's going to Houston, okay?
I mean, what we got? Yeah, we need it.
Everybody to the Houston Texans. Nobody wants to go to the Houston Texans.
Dominique, Donovan said he tired of hearing about the Texans. He had to get up out of here.
Yep, I agree. I'm about to head out too.
Cody Chapman says Fangio takes a Dallas job as Quinn takes a promotion.
Yeah, if he gets another opportunity,
he's getting a lot of talk.
I don't know if he's going to get another opportunity, though.
That would be interesting. All right. Now, again, like I said, I think with Fangio, I think he'll find a spot. Brian Flores, I think, honestly, he'll go back to a coordinator position just for a season or two, and I think hopefully he'll get into this job. But I wonder who gets this Bears job. There have been some rumblings, maybe John Harbaugh coming out of Michigan and coming back into the NFL. At first, it was maybe Miami. Of course, the owner for the Dolphins already said he wasn't going to be the person to take him from Michigan. Maybe it's the Bears. Maybe Harbaugh stays in his Midwest type of realm from playing for the Colts to, of course, playing for Michigan and also maybe coaching for the Bears. Maybe he can do that. But I think the Bears are a very interesting destination because you're going to most likely have Aaron Rodgers leave. We don't know how the Vikings are going to look. The real Lions are the Lions. Maybe the Bears can find a way to get things back on track. Ish, why are you making that face? What did I do now?
No, man. No.
But why not? I mean, again, Lovie Smith took them to the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman.
Yeah,
why it can't happen?
The problem is they've got an aging defense on the side that a lot of people are over.
But it's still the Bears, though. I trust in the Bears defense more than I trust anything that they do offensively.
On the offensive side of the ball, it's rough. They really need to figure that out. What direction are they going? How are they going to build that offense? I mean, it depends on the guy that comes in, to be honest. And then they still got a lot of stuff to figure out in that division, right? People saying Aaron Rodgers gone. Is Aaron Rodgers gone for sure? Do we know that? We'll have to wait and see.
We have to wait and see.
The Minnesota situation, to be honest, they played well throughout the season. I think they played better than their record has them. So everybody that's just thinking that Minnesota is just a cakewalk and Chicago somehow is going to jump over Minnesota, let's pump the brakes on that one.
We have to wait and see what happens, what Minnesota does. If they're going to continue to keep going up or are they going to regress? We do not know what's going to happen after Zimmer. We'll have to wait and see. All right, let me go ahead and get to this last comment. Let's go ahead and move on. Cody Chapman says Bieniemy would be a great fit anywhere, but him in Chicago intrigues me. I'll take him in Denver too. I don't think Bieniemy leaves. I'm gonna stay with what I've stated for years now. I think Bieniemy takes over the job for Kansas City. I don't see him leaving. That's just my opinion. All right, let's go ahead. Yeah, I agree. I'm pretty sure. All right, let's go ahead and very, very briefly, I'm gonna talk about this back wall right here with this paper. We're going to talk about the projections that my gentleman on here projected that their teams would be, and we're going to recap that. And then we're going to also recap our mid-season awards and see if the mid-season awards were on par with the end of the season awards. We're going to see that right quick. So first team first, Maurice with the Houston Texans, he projected 5-12. That's not bad. Hey, he was off
Not
by
bad.
a game.
I was off by
He was
a
off
game,
by a
yeah.
game, and also if Tyrod Taylor would have played, you probably would have won more than 4 games.
I thought Ish was gonna give me, but nah. I projected that and a game off, bro. Like I said, we just honestly once we figure out the Deshaun situation, we got a couple defensive holes and of course receivers. We could at least compete with y'all.
You got a lot. First of all, you got a lot
In
of
our
holes.
division.
You got a lot of holes.
In our division,
You got a lot of holes.
They beat them once, and they took them down to the wire the second time.
Can I say something? Can I say on a serious
named
note? We talk about this every time on this show, Ish and KC, and I know y'all want to be disrespectful and whatnot. But last time I checked, y'all struggle with the Raiders. Okay. Y'all don't y'all
this
struggle?
year.
I'm just saying. It's a divisional game. It's a divisional game. We all know how divisional opponents are. Unless you play in the NFC least, where they just give up against the
who they
Cowboys.
struggled with the garbage of the division, the Denver Broncos. They beat them 13 straight. Like it's
I know how much you love the ponies. I see how much you
love
talk
the
about
Donkeys.
So
They're my favorite team.
Yes,
but
yes.
you got to beat those bad teams.
You got to. All right,
You
let's go ahead and move on to Donovan. Donovan projected a 13-4 record for the Cowboys. Was off by a game as well. Finished the season 12-5. Donovan, how you feel about your projection?
Pretty good. It went about how I expected it to go. I think probably a couple on a game would probably lost us a game, but that's how it goes. I'd rather win the Super Bowl. So we did not disappoint. I don't think anybody says the Cowboys disappointed during the season. Now we just gotta finish because I know you haters. I know you haters are waiting on the Cowboys to win a couple games and lose on the national championship or in the conference championship or get to the Super Bowl and lose. I know y'all just waiting on us to lose. So I ain't even. I ain't
got no skin in the game when it comes to Cowboys. So
Cowboys to the Super Bowl.
The Cowboys not done yet. I'm not satisfied.
I respect it. All right, let's get to Dooley and his Washington football team prediction. 12-5. Well, we know that didn't happen. Dooley.
Yeah, man. We sucked. We stuck up the joint as usual in Washington. One of the let's just say, we've probably been rebuilding longer than any other franchise in the NFL. We're on a 30-year rebuild process, and whatever, give or take. All I know is that we need assistance. We need assistance defensively. The defense was supposed to be there this season. They weren't. We had a couple injuries on the D line. It is what it is, man. Hey,
Donovan ain't taking that. He's playing that violin. I'm playing the smallest violin on my fingertips right now.
Y'all had some good boxing lessons though. Y'all need to take some boxing lessons. That left jab it didn't connect.
NFL Man of the Year nominee.
Honestly, this was the first year Dallas really took over how they were supposed to take over. So Dallas has been the team that was supposed to take over that division. So the Dallas Cowboys did their job this season. Big ups to them. Big downs to my Washington football team. Let's see what it's looking like next season.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to KC and his prediction with the Chiefs. Now, maybe he was drinking when he predicted this, like he was doing earlier today, but at the moment you have 14-3.
Yeah,
listed by a couple of games.
I think by the time I made the prediction on my episode, I dumped it down a game. Either way, wrong. But I don't know. I mean, I had very little faith in this team going into a certain point of the season. I thought that they had a wild card shot at best going into the Monday Nighter against the Giants with games against the Packers and Cowboys coming up. Luckily enough, they got both of the teams not 100% healthy and got W's there. Won the division and 2 seed, couple home games, like I said. So let's see where it goes. Let's see what the field looks like come next week.
Of course, since my boy Lee's on here tuning in as well, he also predicted 14-3 for the Chiefs as well.
Hey, great minds, man.
I mean, look, I understand y'all's hype going into the season. At the end of the day, 12-5 don't hurt nobody. It gets you in. As long as you win 10, you should get in, unless you're the Miami Dolphins last year. And my prediction, Tennessee Titans 12-5. I was right with the 12-5, but in reality,
should have been more.
I agree with that, but not just that. In reality, this is a very disrespectful 12-5 We are the Tennessee Titans are the number 1 seed in the AFC. Nobody believes in the Tennessee Titans. Nobody cares about them. Nobody
because they have really terrible losses.
Oh, here we go.
Hold on. Can I finish what I'm
terrible losses?
Can I finish what I was gonna say though before everybody just get on me?
Oh shit. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, no, I'm being serious. Am I wrong? Because everybody's picking the Chiefs to win. Everybody's picking the Bills to still win. Everybody's picking the Bengals. People are picking the Bengals to surpass and go to the Super Bowl. What I'm stating is that I've never seen a number 1 seed in a while just literally just get disrespected and just say nobody's worried about that team. We're picking a 2 seed, a 3 seed, or even a 4 seed to come out of AFC. That's all I'm stating. I know the Tennessee Titans not the scariest team in the AFC. But I will say that the Tennessee Titans have gotten healthy at the right time to where you will have healthy Julio, you will have a healthy Derrick Henry, you will have a healthy A.J. Brown, you will have a healthy everybody for the most part to where nobody. I don't care about anybody fearing the Tennessee Titans. I just want to know if is anybody ready to play smash mouth football for 4 quarters. Ish knows. That's why Ish is laughing because he knows any team that want to come in and play against Tennessee Titans, they're going to be in for a long day. And the Kansas City Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills, anybody besides New England Patriots, they've beat throughout the regular season. They lost to the New England Patriots. Of course, I'm not going to make any excuses, but they lost to New England Patriots. But in the playoffs, y'all know as real football people that the Tennessee Titans are going to be a tough out. And it's going to be very interesting to see on both sides, the AFC and the NFC, who's going to come out because most of these games are going to come down to matchups. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Ish, you got anything to finish before we move on?
Are you done crying? Are you done
I'm
crying?
not crying. I'm just stating facts.
Do you want to cry some more about how no one believes in us? Why? Why doesn't my daddy want me?
All right, when y'all, hey, I'm gonna say it right here. When y'all lose to the Steelers, all right. When y'all lose to the Steelers, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Bills next week. Calm down.
Y'all play the Steelers, sir. You better be worried about. You better be worried about this weekend, sir.
And it won't play.
We're good.
Okay. All right. My Chiefs fans are so pumped. They just. I'm gonna leave it alone. All right. Now, like I said to everybody, we were on this show 9 weeks ago, halfway point, and we talked about midseason award winners going from MVP, Coach of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, and also, of course, Rookie of the Year at that time. We're going to do it over again, and I need to hear y'all's picks for the rest of the season award. So let's start off with Bam, MVP. And I'll start off with my boy, Dat Man. Dat Man, who is your MVP for this 2021-2022 NFL season?
Honestly, and you guys aren't going to like what I have to say here, but I'm going to say it anyways. It's Sir Thomas Brady. Okay. The best season he's ever had. And the man's halfway to 50. The Bucs are the number 1 seed coming off winning the Super Bowl last season. Tom Brady is the NFL MVP this season. That's my take on the MVP.
KC.
It's Aaron Rodgers. It's not close. The only way it doesn't happen that it's Aaron Rodgers is if people don't want to vote for him because of the COVID
He's a douchebag.
Like that's sure. That's the only reason. I mean, Cooper Kupp should be up for some thoughts, but it's Aaron Rodgers. It's not close.
Mo.
I'm going with Tom the Great, man. Like you said, 50 years old, still on the field doing this thing. Who else can we say, honestly, let's just picture this out. He retires, he's done. Who else can we say would follow that behind him right now? Nobody.
We don't know right now. A lot of people didn't think he'd be a better quarterback after Joe Montana, but it's going to happen. Somebody going to come and take the throne.
Like, let's just say 5 years out, like current league players right now. There's nobody that we see right now that has that potential. 50 years old.
People keep saying it's Mahomes. People keep saying it's Mahomes, but
Mahomes is great, but nah, till 50.
Technically, Brady's only 44. Let's relax. You're putting 6 more years on him.
You're giving him some extra time.
He didn't been hit. His knees are the same. He got a little extra wear and tear. We're just gonna round it up to 50. He wasn't supposed to last.
He ain't rounding up shit to shit. That boy 44.
He wasn't even supposed to last this long. I'm just saying.
Donovan, who you got? Because your man over here talking crazy.
I guess I'll switch it up. Quarterbacks always get the fun, so why not give it to somebody who, the greater you are, the harder they make it. I mean, I might as well give it to Cooper. I mean, the greater you are, the harder they make it. As you're a receiver, they're not going to just let you just do what he's doing. He's obviously figuring out something. And he's obviously really great at what he does. And I think he was a triple crown, as I think someone said earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Cooper just because I don't want to pick a quarterback. I don't necessarily think he's better than Devontae, but Devontae does have Aaron Rodgers. He has Matt Stafford, who somehow just got lucky again by having Megatron before. Now he has Cooper Kupp. I don't think anybody really is putting their money on Matt Stafford for the LA Rams. You really relying on the connection that he has with Cooper Kupp. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with Cooper Kupp just because every game we knew who is he gonna throw it to? He's probably gonna throw it to Cooper Kupp. And even when the number 2 receiver went down, Cooper Kupp somehow still got open no matter what. So I'm gonna go with him.
I respect it. I'm not mad at all, especially being a receiver. I'm not mad at it. Ish.
I respect it. What a dream it would be to have someone other than a quarterback win the award, but we know it's going to a quarterback and it's going to Mr. Discount double check Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers is the MVP. Tom Brady had a great season. He had wonderful numbers, but I think it's got to go to Aaron Rodgers. I don't think it's close at all. While the numbers were great from Tom Brady, I just think what the award represents, most valuable player, it has to be Aaron Rodgers.
I respect it, Ish. You definitely are not wrong. I'm going to say my 2 cents on it. Let's be real. The 2 candidates is Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. Those are the main 2 candidates. The person who definitely should be talked about, who should be in the conversation but made a late run, who unfortunately probably won't get considered, is Joey Franchise, a.k.a. Joey Covers, as KC calls him. And you have He got one more time, Casey?
He's going to have another award coming his way, I think.
He is, and I'm going to talk about that shortly, but he has to be in the conversation. He doesn't win it. He doesn't win it this year, but he has to be in the conversation. The biggest difference between A-Rod and Tom Brady is that A-Rod has been more efficient, more touchdowns, a lot of touchdowns, less interceptions. But if you look at Tom Brady and what he's been able to do this season, I mean, it really is ridiculous. For you to be 44 years old and lead the NFL in passing yards, completions, attempts, and touchdowns, and be the only quarterback to lead all 4 of those, the only quarterback since Drew Brees and Peyton Manning to do that, again, at 44, that is pretty remarkable. So I don't think this MVP award is just, we automatically going to give it to A-Rod. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it is a coin flip between Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. But
number 1 seed.
I will say this though: whoever gets it is going to put more fuel on the other person to win a Super Bowl. So if Tom Brady gets it, Rodgers is going to have fuel to win that Super Bowl. If Rodgers gets it, we probably might see another ring for Tom Brady.
By the time they get it, it's already going to be.
It happens out. Yes.
Yeah,
I forget. My
apologies. Throw one other your way.
I keep forgetting they changed their awards to after the season though.
Can I throw one more at you? It never happened, but a guy that should at least be talked about.
Please don't say Jonathan Taylor.
Crazy coming from me. No, not Jonathan Taylor.
Okay.
He pissed that down his leg week 18 and 17 when they lost.
Yes, he did.
No, a guy that needs to be talked about that no one would probably expect me to say here.
Debo Samuel.
No, it's Derek.
A
guy who he let. Hear me out. I get that look from Ish. Here we go. He was a betting favorite through like 4 weeks, right? And then all this stuff goes down with the Raiders. And who pulls this team up? Who is the heart of this team? Who wills this team into the playoffs? Wins these games that needs to be won? It's Derek Carr. He's not going to win. He stands no chance. But I tell you what, the guy deserves a little recognition. He's going into the playoffs. He's fired up. First shot he got the last time his team was here, he got hurt. last game of the season, man, watch out for Derek Carr. I'm just saying, watch out.
That's interesting. I'm not. That's
it never happened. Never happened. But
it won't. It won't. But
he carried that
interesting.
team.
A lot's been going on in Oakland. I mean, in Vegas. So it's like, honestly, I can see where Casey's coming from.
I got you. All right, let's go ahead and get to Rookie of the Year. Now,
you stop glaring at me? Jesus.
That's that African daddy death there right there.
He's like,
I can't believe you said that.
You don't want that. Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want them problems, Casey.
I upset him.
All right. Well, we already know who's going to get Defensive Rookie of the Year award. Okay, we're not even going to entertain the defensive side of the ball. Okay, and just to remind everybody, our boy Donovan already stated on the Week 9 show that Parsons was the Defensive Rookie of the Year, and we all, of course, know that, and anybody with half an eye socket know that Parsons is the best defensive rookie on the field this year. Now, let's go to the offensive side of the ball, because I went back and went to go rewatch that show, and I don't know if anybody remember some of the choices that everybody made, but at that time, Mac Jones was leading the rookies in production and just all of that. Now, the one outside rookie that KC brought up, who I'm assuming is a very betting favorite to be Rookie of the Year offensively, is Jamar Chase. KC was the one that talked about him early in the season. He had a game prior to the Week 9 game. He had a sloppy game, but overall in that back half of the NFL season, I mean, he's somebody that probably could be Rookie of the Year. So, Casey, I'm going to start off with you. Who do you have as the Rookie of the Year?
It's recency bias, but I'm sticking with Jamar Chase. You know, he lit up my Chiefs. It was a painful game to watch, and we saw New England put up the 50 burger on the Jags. I don't know that does much for him, but we watched them roll over and not look great against the Dolphins. I think the recency bias is absolutely a thing. I'm going with Jamar here. Mac Jones is close, but I got to take Jamar Chase there. I'm sticking with it.
Dooley, who you got?
I'm going to have to go with Chase as well, my man. Honestly, this is one of the best rookie receivers I've seen in a long time. You know, him and Burrow just got that LSU connection. That's all it is. You know, that's what I like to call it, at least, you know. But honestly, the kid's been unstoppable. Pretty impressive of a receiver. I can't wait to see what the kid has to offer us in the future. You know, so yeah, Chase Rookie of the Year.
All right, let's make it quick-ish.
Real quick, I'm gonna mention somebody that I think had he had more touchdowns, he would have been Rookie of the Year.
Are you gonna say what? Okay.
Najee Harris in Pittsburgh. I think had he had more touchdowns, he would have been Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
But only 7 touchdowns with the 1,200 yards. I think he's falls short because Jamar Chase and everything he was able to do with Cincinnati, them winning the division, so on and so forth. So yeah, Jamar Chase.
He's not going to win it, but I'm going to throw his name out there because I did say before the season started that he would win Rookie of the Year just because of how freakishly of an athlete that he was. But because of how shitty this team is, I feel like it didn't allow him to really blossom how great he is. Kyle Pitts for the Atlanta Falcons had a great season, but even though it was overshadowed by how bad the Falcons are, he still put up 1,000 yards and the only tight end to do that since Mike Ditka. So he's on the path already to be great. He just have to continue to be great, and hopefully we'll see him in the record books moving forward. Donovan.
No, I agree. Jamar Chase. That's He won that one just as easy as Michael won the defense.
Mo, who you got?
Fan favorite Jamar Chase. He's brought that flavor back to the Bengals, kind of like Chad Ochocinco. And
and TJ, who's your mama?
I feel like he's gonna be better than him. But anyways,
we'll talk about that another time. We'll see what happens. All right, let's go ahead and move on to comeback player of the year. Dooley, let's start off with you.
Comeback player of the year. This is tough. Go elsewhere.
No problem. I got you. But before I'll give it to everybody, I want to throw out some things that people did say. I was the idiot at the time, and I threw out Carson Wentz. I'll take that L. I'll take that L. No problems. But here's there's one that's funny, and I mean one is funny and the X one's funnier. Ish threw out Joe Burrow, but the funniest one, and it's not funny, but it's funny because how convinced KC was on this. Dak Prescott. KC was so confident in Dak Prescott. He said, "Take the money to your local casino and it's free money." He said free money. I put it. Look, I wrote it down. I said free money. KC said free money.
Are we changing
for Dak Prescott?
Are we changing our mind on
Joe
that?
Burrow. It's Joe Burrow.
I mean, yeah, you change your mind because again, it's 2 halves of the NFL season, and the season is now over with, and it's not Dak Prescott. The free money is Joe Burrow.
No, let me tell you right now, the betting favorite is in fact still Dak Prescott.
Okay.
As a guy who watches these lines, I can't bet him here in the great state of Iowa.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But he is still the betting favorite. You know why? Because we all watched Dak Prescott's ankle snap live on television.
That shouldn't be a good reason though why he should win comeback player of the year.
Same thing as Alex Smith. Alex Smith was a great story. Was he comeback player of the year? No, I'm sorry, he's not. It was great. It was a great story. He played a couple games. He didn't play well. It's whatever. We watched Dak Prescott's ankle snap live on television.
Bro, I'm not
everyone saw it, and everyone sent it to their friends, and that's why it's him.
I'm not saying
it should
Joe
be
Burrow.
Joe Burrow, yeah. Again, it is the recency bias thing with Joe Burrow.
I thought that was the award that you was talking about, Casey. I thought that was the award Joey is going to win. Was the comeback player of the year?
He might. I'm not ruling him out. It's close, but if I'm looking at it right now, I'm still picking Dak. Bro, I wouldn't be surprised at all if it's Joe Burrow, but I do think Dak still wins this award.
It shouldn't be close. It's Joe Burrow.
I mean, all right, let's go to Donavon right quick. The Cowboys fan. Let's see if he's going to take the easy bait or is he going to be realistic.
Well, I don't understand how you can say Joe Burrow over Dak though. To be honest with you, Dak had a better season. Just because Joe Burrow threw for a couple hundred more yards doesn't mean that he had a better season. I think Jamar Chase is the reason why we talk about Joe Burrow as much as we talk about not.
So hold up. So not Amari Cooper, not CeeDee Lamb, not Gallup,
You're gonna take Jamar Chase over every receiver on the Dallas Cowboys, right? Let's just be honest, right?
No, so I'm taking Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper is the best receiver out of everybody.
Nope.
That's my opinion. I'm just going off of
Jamar Chase.
Okay.
So I think we talk Joe Burrow because he has the look and he has Jamar Chase more than anything. But I think Dak Prescott is the comeback player of the year. Are we really?
I need to hear from the comments. So everybody that's in the comments, please let us know who you think your comeback player of the year, please, because this is interesting. I did not think it would be this.
Snapped his leg and literally came back. Went through everything he went through after being paid $75 million. All the pressure on him. Fans don't give a F about the fact that he cracked his leg and what that does to your mental. Dude was having issues. He wasn't taking off running at all, even though that was his strength before the injury. Like he's dealing with all this. He got top talent at the receiver position, but he got to come back like he never was hurt, or people are going to talk about him, which everybody did when he had a couple bad games. Yet he still ends the season. What was his numbers? Fantastic, right? So at the end of the day, they were 12-5. The quarterback snapped his leg open in half. That's what the definition of the comeback player of the year is. That's what it is.
Okay. All right. Ish.
No, it's Joe Burrow. It's Joe Burrow. Dude, he took a team that was 4-11 last year to win the division this year. Like, come on. The Cowboys are playing in the division. Dak Prescott went out and did exactly what he was expected to do. You can't win comeback player of the year when you go and you do what you're expected to do. Joe Burrow also had an injury, so we all acting like Joe Burrow wasn't injured as well.
Torn ACL.
And everything.
Torn ACL.
He wasn't hurt. Dak Prescott was the only guy that was hurt. Dak Prescott, the only person that was hurt out here, so we're going to give it to Dak Prescott automatically. Come on, he did what he was supposed to do. No one is saying that Dak Prescott didn't have a great season, but what I'm saying is when you look at it from its entirety, you look at the team, you look at what he did for his team, how well he played. I think they played equally on the same level, right? But I think when you compare the teams and what the player did for his team, it's got to be Joe Burrow. I mean, come on. Who had Cincinnati winning the AFC North? Y'all, we can't sit here and act like we didn't all have Dallas winning the NFC East.
Except for me. I'm an idiot. Picked the Washington
football team. You're the only person out here acting crazy and picking Washington football team. But I mean, everybody else knew what was going to happen, all right? We knew Dak Prescott was going to come back. We expected him. I'm not even going to say we knew. We expected him to play well. And he played well. He did what he was supposed to do. I'm not going to give him an award because he came and he did what he was supposed to do. Joe Burrow was not expected to lead this team to the playoffs or yet win the AFC North. They won the AFC North behind Joe Burrow. It has to be Joe Burrow.
All right, let's get to the comment section right quick. Fracture Walnut says, Joey B, man, took the Bengals to the playoffs since 91. I'm actually, technically, we haven't won a playoff game since 91. They've been to the playoffs with with Carson Palmer and all of them. They just haven't won a game since 91. Also saying that they won the division they weren't supposed to win. I mean, that division was topsy-turvy. Anybody could have won that one, but, of course, they ended up winning that one when they really weren't supposed to. But, hey, that's here nor there. Lee also says, I mean, Dak had a better record, more touchdowns, less picks. People don't realize how inconsistent Burrow was this year and caught fire that last few games. But Burrow did exceed expectations like crazy. I give Burrow the edge. And I think that is what I think everybody really is seeing because, like Lee is saying, I mean, Dak Prescott had 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, threw for 4,400 yards. Burrow had 34 touchdowns, 14 picks, and threw for 4,600 yards. So is it about the numbers or is it about what you are able to do for your team? Because if we remind everybody, the Cowboys, this team is the first team ever in NFL history to have a 4,000-yard passer, 1,000-yard receiver, 1,000-yard rusher, and to have a defensive player to have 10-plus sacks and 10-plus interception ever on a team. So the Cowboys as a team are stacked. I mean, that's pretty much what I'm stating. And for the Bengals, again, everybody assumed that the Cowboys coming into the season were going to do what they should do to make it at least to the playoffs. Nobody expected the Bengals to do anything this year for what they were able to do and exceed expectations. That's why I have to give Comeback Player of the Year to Joey B.
Facts.
Anybody else before we move on?
Didn't expect them to win a garbage division.
But is it really garbage though when everybody is,
Yes.
I mean,
it's not that great.
Yeah, it's not good.
They were all pretty, yeah.
All right, let me get to this one comment right quick. Lee brought up
the East is any better.
I'm just saying. All right, Lee's talked about. He said, I know we talked about it after last season and this preseason. X was big on giving Heineke a shot. Are they going to draft a quarterback this draft? And he's talking about with the Washington football team last year, the way that they ended the season. I wasn't too big on Heineke with just that one game, but I did say, hey, why not give him an opportunity, which they did this year. He reminds me of a poor man's Gardner Minshew, just with less flair. It's like, yeah, he plays well. He's a good quarterback, but he just...
Don't disrespect Gardner like that, bro.
Oh, I will. Because he played so well against the Cowboys last week. Yeah. Anyways.
Don't disrespect Gardner like that, man.
Okay. Continue to be bamboozled by the mustache. Is apparently what you're doing. But I'm going to keep it real in this show because with the Washington football team, I really don't know what the hell they're going to... I don't know what the Washington football team are going to do as an organization, period. They are so incompetent. They can't even hide the names that they're going to have for the next football team correctly to make sure that people don't even know... people are not peeping in on what they have going on behind the scenes. So until the Washington football team can take care of their business, I don't care, honestly, what they're doing on the football field. All right, so let's wrap it up tonight with Coach of the Year. I mean, at the time, again, midseason, it was pretty much Bill Belichick or, of course, maybe I can't remember right now who's. Oh, my bad. Cliff, your boy Cliff. There we go. Undefeated at the time. The Cardinals.
Cliff might not have a job.
And now that the season is over with, who is everyone's NFL Coach of the Year? Mo, we'll start with you.
I don't know, bro. I would say the Tampa Bay's coach, but I mean they got too much talent around them, so I don't know. I actually don't have a choice on this. I'm gonna let you get to the next one.
It's all good. It's all good. We'll go to Ish. It sounds like he's a little targeted. What you got for it? What you got?
Well, yeah, because I'm keeping it. I'm gonna stay consistent. Okay, it's Zach Taylor. It's Zach Taylor. Anybody saying anything else? Get out of here, man. It's Zach Taylor. Zach Taylor led the Bengals to win the AFC North. Like they were not supposed to do this. They got Joe Burrow. They got a rookie wide receiver. All these things that went a 4-11 team to what they are now winning that division. It's got to be Zach Taylor. All these other coaches, I mean, yeah, y'all had a nice season, but you didn't do what Zach Taylor did. I'm sorry.
Donovan looked like he ready to say something.
That's laughable.
Oh.
I mean, Baltimore.
You about to say what, Mike McCartney?
Baltimore, Lamar Jackson been out. Quarterback trash. Pittsburgh quarterback should have retired 10 years ago. Like that's okay. I'm going to go with I'm going to go with Dan Quinn. I'm going to go with the defensive coordinator with the Cowboys.
It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. I knew he was going to find some way to put a Cowboy. It don't work like that.
Here he go. See? Nah,
well,
man.
Man, who else deserves it? Really? Like, who else deserves
here
it?
we go.
There's plenty of coaches out here that deserve it, Donovan. And again, like I said earlier, if it wasn't for Parsons, your defense wouldn't even look that good. So let's relax.
Tampa Bay's quarterback coach. You can't say Tampa Bay's coach because they had Antonio Brown on the team. He's disqualified. You can't say Andy Reid because some people say that team actually underperformed. They say the quarterback some people actually thought the quarterback was declining for half the season. I mean, I guess you can say the Tennessee's coach if you really want to go there, but
that's what I was waiting on. I was waiting for somebody to keep on being disrespectful. That's perfectly fine. It could be as horrible as it wants to be, but when you use the most players throughout the whole NFL season to finish your season, when you lose the best running back in the NFL, when you lose multiple wide receivers throughout the season, when you continue to lose players on defense and you still win 12 games this season and find a way to not just win your division, but also be the best seed in the AFC.
More woe is me, cry me a river. Here we go again. No one likes us. Everybody picking against us. Why don't we get any respect? You were only an 11-5 team last year, winning the division, to go to 12-5 this year and win the division. Wow, Mike Vrabel did something so amazing. Get out of here, X. I don't want to hear that nonsense, bro.
And you get to play the Texans twice, the Jags
you
twice,
play the Texans twice, and then you lost to the
Colts twice. This schedule's garbage.
The Jets. I mean, get out of here, man.
I'm not taking it away from Vrabel because you're absolutely right.
Like, thank you, Casey. Somebody with a brain.
He did do he's not my pick, but he did do a lot with a little. Like that team had a lot of injuries, a lot to deal with, and he rallied that team and made it work. This award, the thing with this award is it's always that team that did something that we didn't expect, right? That's how this award goes. So the answer is Zach Taylor. There's always two answers for this award. It's either the team who came out of nowhere and won a bunch of games, which is Zach Taylor, which is why I think that's the winner, or it's the guy like Bill Belichick who should have won this award every year for the past half a decade and didn't. The answer is Matt LaFleur. He is right there as well. He has no respect because of what's going on in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers and all the stuff. But this team cruised to a 1 seed. They would have been one game even closer. Sure. I
mean, I could win Coach of the Year when I'm coaching Aaron Rodgers.
Which is why Bill Belichick never won it with Tom Brady. I'm not telling you he's going to win it.
What are you talking about? He has Aaron Rodgers. The Titans played the Texans and Jaguars twice.
Who cares? It don't matter who you play. It's still an NFL team. It's still a professional team.
I can coach the Titans and go win Coach of the Year.
No, you cannot. No, you cannot, Ish. No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. Don't even. No. I can coach Aaron Rodgers and win Coach of the Year. You sit your ass down somewhere. You're not coaching the Tennessee Titans, okay? My point is that, and we'll get to the comment section, because Lee said the same thing. Lee said Matt LaFleur and Vrabel. Out of those two, he's going with Matt. And again, I respect it. I understand. We had a funny one from Fracture Wall, and they said David Cutley because he has to deal with Cal McNair. I got that. My point is that this. I'm not even going with the whole, nobody cares about us, nobody respects us, nobody. I don't give a damn. I'm just wanted for one time somebody to actually say, damn, Mike Vrabel's actually doing a pretty decent job over there in Nashville. This is his 4th season in Nashville. He's won 9 games every year. He's been with Tennessee. He's been.
Of your games.
If that's the case, then why every other coach that been with the Tennessee Titans didn't do the same thing?
Goodness.
Okay, that's my point.
Peyton Manning was still there. That's why.
That's my point is that Vrabel was not. I mean, hold on.
Right over
Peyton Manning left, and we were still trash, and we were still the bottom of the division until we made this change over to Vrabel, and he's been able to get everything back to where it needs to be. I don't give a damn about what's going on in the rest of the division. That's their problem. Nobody cared about Tennessee Titans when we have problems, and we out here drafting Jake Hurtlocker and having Ken Wisenhunt out here as the head coach and having all these hurt players, Rusty Sims and all the other bums, Rusty Smith for the last 10 years of the 2010s. Nobody cared about Tennessee Titans, but now all of a sudden when we start winning, now all of a sudden everything we do is just don't mean shit. Again, it's perfectly fine. So we're just gonna wait until we come back on this postseason show where we will discuss everything that happens in the postseason in the NFL, and we're just gonna have to just wait and see what happens in the postseason. If the Kansas City Chiefs are gonna be there, or if the Tennessee Titans are gonna be there, or if the Dallas Cowboys. We know the Houston Texans ain't gonna be there, but maybe the Cowboys might be in the Super Bowl. I would love to see a Cowboys versus Titans Super Bowl. I would love to see that. I would love to see me some of that.
No.
That's gross.
No, that'd be boring.
It won't be boring. I promise you it wouldn't. Lee also says, can we all give Harbaugh some respect though? With that team that he had to go through with 23 players on IR, he was an overtime away from being in the playoffs.
He cost that team.
That again, I brought it up when it comes to going forward. Certain games. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That team in 2 games. When they had,
you could have went to overtime. You could have just went to overtime and tried to play. I agree, but
he didn't have no corners in that game.
They
were all hurt.
Overtime.
That's another conversation for another day. And with that being said, we appreciate everybody for being with us today. This was a very long episode only because we wanted to make sure we recapped everything for y'all. This was a hell of an NFL season. This is the first NFL season with 17 games. So this was a special season, especially the way that it ended with the Chargers and Raiders game. And I appreciate everybody for being on this episode tonight. So before, of course, y'all leave, please make sure y'all shout out y'all's podcast and y'all's businesses before we get up out of here. Let's start off with KC McKinney.
Hey, man, check us out. Just Another Football Show. We're going to be putting a bunch of content up on Facebook and YouTube. We talked to a fan of every team playing this weekend, getting their predictions on games. We'll do our predictions on Friday, recapping the weekend, everything coming up tomorrow. So anywhere you get a podcast, Just Another Football Show, check us out. Join the Facebook group. Always fun conversation going on there. It's a good time. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Casey. And I'm going to let Donavon and Mo do their thing.
Go ahead, Mo.
Maurice from the Mid Our Men Show on wherever you get your podcast from. We are looking for new guests to be on the show. We actually want to do an episode with the fellas. It is a show about men, just talking about different topics that go on throughout the world. But make sure you subscribe to the show, and that's all I got.
Well, you got to let us know. We'll be there, baby.
Yes, sir. Not so much sports, but a little,
that other stuff. We can talk about other things besides sports. We multifaceted around here.
Let's go.
Well, we talk about everything. Yeah. Follow us on Man Our Man Podcast.
That's it, short and sweet, just like that. Cowboys and Super Bowl. That's how you feeling right now, Donovan?
That's how we do, man. I'm so focused on my Cowboys.
Okay.
Because I know everybody deep down want to see us lose, so I'm just ready.
Well, I appreciate you, Dominique, for tuning in tonight, and everybody else that tuned in. This is, like I say, this is it. This is the regular season's over with. We are into the postseason. Starts on Sunday.
You're not gonna let me get an outro?
No, because you're gonna say something about my Titans, and I don't like you right now.
He big mad.
So no, I hate you.
You're not gonna let me get out.
No, I hate you. No, I hate you. No. But no, I'm serious. I'm gonna let you do it. No, but on a serious note, this is a hell of a regular season. I cannot wait for the postseason and to wait and see who's going to get crowned the Super Bowl champion, and also the off season. Cannot wait for that as well. And Ish, go ahead and take it. There you go.
So yeah, once again, thanks for tuning in to the review, season recap, and the awards and everything. We look forward to the playoffs. Be sure to tune in on Saturday, where we are going to Sunday morning. We're going to have our pregame show, and we're going to talk about all the games that are coming out this week, and we'll recap a little bit of some of the Saturday games, maybe. But most importantly, let's remember that when Mike Vrabel first got to Tennessee,
oh Lord,
he got swept by Andrew Luck that first year, and then ever since then, Andrew Luck has been gone. So Mike Vrabel winning, 4 years in Tennessee. The 1 year Andrew Luck was there, they got swept. So I'll just leave it at that. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. X, go ahead, close out, guys.
Andrew Luck was undefeated against the Titans, so I don't know what you want me to say. I mean, he was our daddy. I don't know what you want to say. Yeah, Dominique, what are them? I'm sorry. What are them Chiefs going to do? Dominique wants to know. All I know, look, y'all better not lose to the Steelers. If y'all lose, y'all better block me on social media. The Chiefs lose to the Steelers, y'all better block me on social media. That's all I'm saying. Because I will find you, Ish and KC. I love you. Not you so much, KC, because you're a reasonable fan. Ish, as you can see, Ish a little delusional from time to time. So I'm gonna have to make sure that he understands.
You know how I know the Chiefs going to beat the Steelers?
Because you already did in the regular season?
Steelers money line. That's how.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. I understand. All right. We appreciate everybody, as always, for tuning in. We will see y'all on Sunday morning for a pregame show of the postseason. It'll be short, sweet, entertaining. We appreciate everybody for it. Will not be nothing about the Cowboys.
The Cowboys to the Super Bowl.
But again, we appreciate y'all for joining X Talking Ish. We'll see y'all